Alongside the Shaping Space project, we organized a series of events and workshops, in particular some workshops for schools. One of the themes that we worked on with the children in these workshops was the idea of learning about materials and processes through making.
By using a materials-first exploration of architectural model making, we allowed students to create their own narrative within their environment. Their imaginative use of materials really demonstrated the embodied way in which we think about making practice. It was a connection to who they were, as well as to their histories and to their environment. That creative practice happens in a way that can't happen in an academic setting.
In one of the workshops, we gave the students a brief to develop and imagine a new youth and community centre, to think about the users, to think about interiors and exteriors, to think about the relationship between this space and its context. The workshop was led by model maker Scott Miller, who really guided this process of moving from 2D to 3D creation and helped the students gain familiarity with different kinds of materials.
Maintaining some connection to reality through this medium of creating things is a really important part of architects learning to create things that are actually in touch with the human world and haven't just been developed 100% through a screen. And likewise, I feel that they need to do that in order to maintain a good working relationship with the construction industry that is actually building the things that they're designing, because they're the ones that have to solve these problems that digitally might numerically make sense, but when it comes to practical limitations and material qualities, you have to have a good grasp of that, because if you haven't, it may come to something that is just impossible to build. And so you have to have a good grasp of that real world in order to translate whatever crazy ideas you've come up with in your head or on a computer have to be quantified and become tangible through recognized limitations in the process and in the materials that you're working with.
Through this process, the students had an opportunity to think about what does it mean to create a space, to move from a two-dimensional sketch to a three-dimensional model. And they also had an opportunity to develop in the process fine motor skills and high-hand coordination.
Because our approach to this educational programme put tacit embodied experience at the centre of the workshops, it also allowed us to have a materials-first approach. All of the workshops had a material focus. We were able to allow students to access technical materials such as cork, balsa wood and foam board, and also technical processes that they might not have come across, and experiencing materials that they definitely haven't seen, such as bioplastics. This also allowed us to have a conversation about the environmental impact of model making as well. We also worked with reclaimed materials. Every single workshop we asked students to bring materials with them so that there would be no virgin materials used.
Model making became an opportunity to learn how to actively learn to shape your own environment. So what we discovered is that learning through making can turn us into more active, more empathetic, more engaged citizens.